on, tune in and do it fast. It's time for the Evercast. Are you ready to greet Ed, Rich, Crow, and Pete as they talk Evercade? Good times will never fade. Put away the switchblade, sheath the sword of Vienna. Stop the blaster master, there's no enemy below as we dip into euphoria. Turn on, tune in, and do it fast. It's time for the Evercast.
Man, I love that song.
It's good. It's a good time.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Evercade podcast. I'm here with Pete, Rich, and Crow. It's cold where I am. How's everybody doing?
What's cold for you,
Yeah, what's cold for you?
Mr. Texas?
yeah. Like 30. Well, outside it's like 34, 35.
All right, that's all right. I'll give you that one.
And
It
we
would
have
be
like
chilly.
we have the heat on, but still like
Yeah.
It's funny you say that, and it's about the same temperature here, and I was going to say it's warmer than it's been.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we hit 25 yesterday over in Jersey.
Jeez.
During the day. It was really cold yesterday. And then
Right now it's I don't know, 2 degrees Celsius.
yeah, that's pretty chilly.
It's like 30, 32, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
But we don't get any snow yet. Anyway, we've been very fortunate.
Yeah.
We've got a couple inches.
Yeah, I got a little snow last night too. It was like just a couple. It was like a dusting, but then it all melted because I guess it warmed up over the night, which is weird.
We're in a lot better place than Los Angeles right now. Jeez.
Oh yeah.
Gosh, I feel so bad for those people.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, you pray for rain for those people.
Yes.
You know?
Well, we've sent a pile of our fire planes down there, and then some dumbass in LA is sending drones up and hitting our firefighting planes.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
That. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, guys.
Yeah.
And it's not hard to believe. Anybody with a drone is probably like, oh, yeah, let me send my drone up there and get some great shots.
Right.
You know?
Well, yeah, I can see it's probably not they're not doing it on purpose. That's for sure. I don't think they would.
Oh my goodness, man.
Wow.
Lloyd says it's negative 12 Celsius. That's chilly.
Where's he at? Minnesota?
That's chilly.
International Falls?
What is that? What is it?
I was
Negative?
going to say, what is...
Oh, Lloyd's in Winnipeg.
It's 10 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah, because as you go down
really?
to Celsius,
not...
it catches up, and as you go down to Celsius, it catches up. The delta between Celsius and Fahrenheit reduces, and then all of a sudden, I think at minus 20, Celsius is colder than Fahrenheit or something like that.
Yeah, that kind of mixed me up because for some reason I thought it would be even further negative Fahrenheit. But
Yeah.
But you said 8 Fahrenheit?
Minus 12 Celsius.
Yeah,
I think
minus 12,
Lloyd
is 10.
He makes Winnipeg
10?
jokes all the time.
10.4.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that's still not cold enough for me.
It's not cold enough.
It's a mild day. Here in Winnipeg, I always talk about Winnipeg. It's like that Simpson episode where they're all going to Winnipeg.
Back to Winnipeg.
And they go, no, there's one where they're driving. And
They're driving and he hits them in the head. That's it. Back to Winnipeg.
It's like, welcome to Winnipeg. We live here. What's your excuse?
No, is that the same episode where Nelson hits the guy in the back of the head and he's like, "That's it, back to Winnipeg." Somebody made a video on that. It's like a music video, and it's like one of my favorite ones.
Oh wow.
Look at that, Lloyd. I remember where you're from, buddy.
That's awesome. That is good times.
Let's see who else do we have here in the chat. Yeah, we got Lloyd. We got a lot of members. We got Joe Whitlash.
Yeah, man.
Ballistic Coffee Boy. We got Rasta. Oh, hey, Dan Ruff. Got some returning faces. Archive Gig. Other member, GF. And, of course, the infamous Ian Hobbies. And
I'm going to try it. I don't think it'll let me. Oh, okay. It actually let me put the link to the video I'm talking about in there.
Oh, cool.
well, StreamYard doesn't like it.
Oh, well, it said it put it there in the chat. So maybe it's just hiding it and I'm not seeing it.
Yeah,
I'm seeing it, nobody else can.
Yeah. I mean, I grew up a lot in Iowa, and that's where it gets like in the negative degrees, but you never get used to it. Like I've been in Texas more than half my life, and I don't like when it's below 70, and when it starts to get maybe above like 85 or in the 90s. That's when I feel uncomfortable. Like either way.
I know all about that. My dad lived in around here in Illinois, Chicago, Rockford area like most of his life, and then he moved to Arizona, and like 5 years later, he's like, I need a coat. It's 50 degrees out.
Well, do you all want to talk about some of the big news that we had, like announcement?
What big news?
What news? Oh, what? So
You're not talking about Indie Heroes 4 because that's not big news.
no. We will
Okay.
we will get to that. I think maybe me and Rich might have been the ones to make videos on this. But yeah, the cartridge hike. Oh hey DJC!
Hey, what's up, man?
I love his logos, but let's scroll down here. Yeah, so like well, I'm just gonna go through this real quick. And I'm curious about your opinions, and so pretty much here, and just keep me this in mind. Like I hope they kind of mean what they say. Or I don't know if this is corporate fluff, but they're like, last 3 years, external pressures, blah blah blah, production expenses, logistics charges for Evercade. And then they said their previous price increases in 2021 with more demands and blah 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 and all that. But they say, so here's the part, and this is what I mean by the corporate fluffer. I hope they stick to this when they say they'll secure more stock, improve availability, and ensure a better experience. Hopefully that means like better Q&A. But now the standard cost is basically going to be $25 USD, and then the gigacarts a whopping $30. And they say that they're going to take effect in January 30th. And what's interesting, I know this has rubbed some people the wrong way, but they say including existing stock. Like all existing carts will also get that price. So thank you for your understanding and blah, blah, blah.
Well, I mean, I don't understand why it would rub people the wrong way. It's exactly what happened in 2021 when they did the increase.
No, what would rub people the wrong way is if they said effective immediately. They're giving you a month to go ahead and buy those cartridges before they raise the price.
Exactly. Yeah.
They are. I think some people, it's kind of like, well, those carts are already produced and they're already out there, so why would they go up? I mean, I get why they're doing it, but
yeah. So, I mean, but I think what happened last time that happened was there was a run on popular carts, and then they sold out, and they weren't available for another month. And then when they came back into stock, they were in the new runs and they were at the new price. So, there's that thing. I mean, I kind of agree with you, RMGB TV. Like it just seems like literally everything just ticks up. In January it comes up, and then just things get more expensive for whatever reason, and then it goes another year and then it ticks up. But that's like, worldwide pressures, and when I said in my video, like, the dreaded I word, and inflation is a thing, and it happens everywhere, not just, North American.
$5. So $5 of $20.
Yeah,
that's it's going up by
25%.
25%. That's 5 times inflation.
Yes,
more than 5 times inflation.
Yeah,
they're getting into dangerous territory in like in certain markets where, like, I mean, the U.S. is still pretty cheap, $24, but the rest of like certain countries, that's going to be like almost $40 Canadian for a cart.
When you say 5 times inflation, are you basing this based on a year or 5 years?
Yeah, well, they already did a price increase a couple years ago, right?
2021.
Yeah. Did they? I wasn't even aware of that.
Yeah, 2021. It used to be $14.99 for a cart, US, regular cart, and then
I always remember paying $20.
No, it was $14.99, and then it was $17.99.
Yeah.
And then and then in the Giga cards, I think it went to $19.99. So maybe there were 3.
You know what it was? The USD prices didn't increase. It was like the other currencies.
Oh yeah, maybe that's what it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, so at any rate, yeah, I mean, it is kind of like the thing that happens. Things get more expensive to produce. But I'll say though, my opinion has changed on things like Polymega Collection, because now that we're starting to get into almost parity. The Gigacart price is now only $10 away from the cost of one Polymega Collection. So it's like, at that point, I'm like, well, I don't feel so bad about continuing my journey that way either. But I also hope that it's possible that now that they're at that particular price point, maybe they're building in margin, to get those extra licenses that were out of reach for them.
Yep.
Based on the fact that the price is the hike is so high. I would hope that it's not all based on logistics and and materials that like that they're actually building in some growth for extra licensing as well, because you don't want to get into a situation where you did that just solely so you can keep producing the cartridges and then try to reach to get those extra licenses and then still have to do another hike later on. That's really going to kill you. So
no,
I
agree with you, Rich. Oh my God, Crimson Cross, long time no
what's up,
see.
Crimson?
Wow,
Good to see you, man.
I was going to say, I don't think it's a coincidence that they did this. I think the timing is wrong with SNK carts, right? So, kind of what I talked about in my video, which is my main concern, is the perception of this, the perception that's been putting out there, because there are a lot of people with last year who were just kind of unhappy with like all the Pico collections, just kind of like the lackluster of like getting really any bangers. So I'm hoping that now the Blaze have got us think like they can't continue to put like mid-range collections. They need to continue to raise the bar.
But I still think that is actually that particular thing about lineups and stuff, that's still subjective, right? Where that might be the opinion of some, it cannot be the opinion of all. You know what I mean?
Sure. But
and there were still some pretty decent titles that came out inside those things. Like, yeah, we have one. We had a Pico Interactive 4 and Pico Interactive Arcade 1. I don't even know if Arcade 1 was the same year. I think it was.
Yeah.
But then you get Tomb Raider, Legacy of Kain. People may or may not have liked the dual cart this year as much as they did maybe last year. We got those two at the end of the year. But you're still getting Toll Plan up the Yin Yang there. You get a Data East, which is a pretty solid cart. And fans were looking for Bitmap Brothers on computer because the Bitmap Brothers collection was the ones that they remembered.
Yeah, but what
the ones they were looking for. So,
but Blake, they should have released the first CAS engine on that. But anyways, no, but like the thing. So here's kind of the thing, and kind of like how I feel too, like with Evercade, right? Is usually, and I'm glad you kind of bring that up and said that, Rich, because a lot of collections, like it's acceptable, say, to have like maybe like half of the collection like not that you don't like or not be in your favor, or have half of the collection be stinkers at the price point. But if they keep raising it, then you kind of question like I'll be like, I think I've said this before, like if I didn't have a YouTube channel, I probably never I would have definitely not collected the blue collection personally. I mean that's just me.
Yeah. Well,
because of that. But in the comments,
I could definitely see that the audience was definitely agreeing with that sentiment. I mean, there's tons of people that are saying, hey, I'm just going to collect what I want now. I was grabbing every cartridge, but now if I know that there's no interest in a cart, I'm just going to leave it go. I've got one person said, I've got 40 already. There's no reason to go for all of them. And again, there's people that are going to be doing that, and then there's going to be people like me and probably Pete, that it's just like, oh, okay, new carts, and it's just like a subscription. You just hit the button.
Yeah,
and then the cards show up, and you play the games, and it's whatever, right? So
here's the thing that I found to be kind of like funny, right? Because like when I got a lot of flack, not by everybody, but saying like how I thought like Evercade is dying in the year 2024 was like one of the worst years. But now some of those people who gave me a hard time, now they're kind of like, oh my God, the prices are too high. They've kind of changed their tune. But yeah, it's the perception, right? Like the funny thing is, like it balances out at the end of the day. Like I would pay more for purple carts and pay less for blue carts, but it's a wash. I hope we do see a Sega or a Konami. Like I think they need to continue to get to these big IPs. While Discovery is kind of nice, I think I'm at a point where like, I kind of want more like to get to that next level, and I really hope the Blaze has secured that. I mean, we'll talk about Indie Heroes 4, and you guys can let me know if you're excited. But surprisingly, like there's even hate for that collection. Like people are conflicted now. Do you think 25, like for regular carts, like is $25 the ceiling, or could they squeeze out like another $5 like over the next of the few years? Or what do you guys think?
It'll be tough considering like there's so many other options to buy these games. Like if they continue to do console only and don't focus on arcade or indie, it makes it a lot harder decision, right? You're looking at $25 for regular carts, $30 for giga carts, right?
Yeah.
Like that's like, what makes it special compared to Switch or PlayStation or Steam? Steam's already beaten the craps out of them on price anyway, right?
Yeah.
But like you can bank so much on the physical side of it and the collector side of it, but that's a finite number of people, right?
Yeah.
right? So yeah, for me, it's like I don't know. I think I think they might have to rethink just the content of their cart strategy if they're going to continue to do price increase.
Yeah.
That's basically where it's at, right? It's like I guess the value proposition too, like Ed mentions, like if the content keeps becoming like too good, like the sentiment for majority of people is like 3 or 4 of the games are good and the rest are kind of mid or something like that or below mid. It's getting harder to justify that price position for the average person. Because remember, we're collectors, we're not their market. A lot of us are like, or we're completionists. Their market is people going into a store and say, "Oh, that's interesting. That's affordable. Not much risk there. I just pick up a cart or two, and But the majority of people aren't going in and saying, "I got to get all of them."
Yeah, I mean, I guess the other thing too is, if you think about it on the other side, I didn't think about this angle. So where the cartridge prices are going up because it's January where they had to do whatever they had to do, the entry level hardware cost actually decreased over the last year with the R's. So I mean, I guess there is a little bit of a build.
Yeah, but they took stuff away from it. Like, don't think that was like well, that's always been the point. Hardware's always been cheaper to manufacture years after initial stuff because chips get cheaper, right?
Yeah.
So that's the way it should be. Software prices usually don't really go up in the gaming industry, which is kind of weird because if you actually accounted for the price of inflation for a video game, like a AAA game, they should be $140 now.
Yeah, that's true.
I can remember picking up games in the early 90s for the Super Nintendo, and they were $90 and $100 then.
Yep.
So, like, got to be careful with those things. Like, I think hardware's expectation is it'll always go down in price, usually.
Yeah.
Because it's just cheaper to manufacture older stuff.
What is it? My carts. They're in a tight spot. They have to sell carts. We all know the entire SNK collect. Of course, it would fit on one cart. So yeah, no. The only other thing that I wanted to say too, which I kind of mentioned in my stream. So here's the other problem that I've noticed with kind of the curation of collections. I kind of felt like in the beginning they were getting those different and weird titles and all that. But then to me, it seems like that like whoever's in, I don't know if it's Andrew or Sean, but like they've curated this collection to their favorite carts that they grew up with in the UK that like other parts of the world maybe aren't interested as much. You know what I mean? And like I understand that, but that's kind of like I feel like and I'm looking like at the blue collection, right? Like it's too much within a niche within a niche, and not a lot of people, but people out there who like love C64 and Amiga, they're like, yeah, those are great, but they're not getting the collections that we want. So I think if Blaze wants to grow, they need to focus on like the US and Japanese markets as far as games, and they kind of need to start to like move away from that. Like if they want to keep the computer line, like get into DOS or don't, or just kind of like shelve that.
There's plenty of people in the U.S. that like the Commodore and Amiga stuff. That's not stuff that didn't exist over here.
Yeah.
But it's the curate. But like they can't get the good licenses that people want. That's what I'm saying. They're like, oh, I love C64, but the collections that y'all have chosen are not like the Commodore Mini. Like they're not as good. So that's the problem. And then now they're charging more money for that. I think you're going to see like the oddball collections, kind of like you were talking about, Rich. Like I think people are going to be more selective, so they may actually not make as much money by pricing people out. But yeah, I think $25 is the ceiling. I think if it ever were to go to 30, like the Giga carts, those better be bangers. Like if it's just the next Tomb Raider collection, that's going to be kind of meh. I don't know.
Well, I mean, the Tomb Raider collection with 3 games on it for $30. I mean, I'm still in if it's like that. But if they start like splitting up the collections, just based on like size or whatever, and you start getting like one big game on a Giga cart or 2 games in a set of 4 or something like that, when all 4 could fit on one, it gets a little different. But for me personally, but yeah, I mean, I think they're aware of what's going on, for sure. They've been around and doing this for a long time, and I'm sure in their planning rooms that there's a lot more constructive conversations happening behind the scenes. But we'll have to see, right? That's what it's like for being on the outside, right? You got to find out what's going on, and we'll see what this year brings, we'll see what the new carts are. So, yeah, as far as Evercanadian's question in the chat, though, do you think they'll ever put more than 10 SNK games on a cart? I mean, I suppose the answer is it depends, but it's probably no. You know, like the average number of games on carts are now with 8 or less. In certain circumstances, the only exception being like an Indie Heroes, or something like that. So I'm imagining that the SNK collections are probably going to be, you know, like I said, 8 or less, 6 or less, you know, per cart. So, you know, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, well, of course, I will come down with them with a huge hand. If there are like any if there are any crazy like ever delays, or if there are more quality control issues, I'll be like, hey, you guys said this would help reduce that. And what I mean by ever delays is that I think 1 to 2 weeks is acceptable. 4 months is not.
Yeah, I mean, that was an extraneous circumstance, though.
Yeah,
they delayed the cart because they tied it to the hardware. So, you know, and that's one of those things. Like, hopefully that doesn't happen again.
right,
So,
right.
But speaking of new collections,
Do you want to talk about that?
well, yeah, we'll talk a little bit. I mean, we know already 9 of the 11 games on the Indie Heroes 4 collection. So when we found out the last 2 games,
There we go.
The interesting thing is, how did people feel about those last 2 games? You know,
I don't know. I never bothered to watch the trailer.
okay.
Yeah, this didn't get me excited to warrant like a separate video, because we pretty much like knew all the games, and we had that other new. If anything, it seemed like people were like, okay, that's great about Indie Heroes 4, but what's the other collection that's going with it? That's what people wanted to know. That's what I wanted to know.
Yep. So, I mean, and this is also for people that aren't in the mix, right? You know, like,
Yeah.
if you don't have an Evercade yet, like, here's another cart for you. You know, all the people that have hardware that update every month also knew, you know, this game list, but not everyone updates every month. You know.
Yeah, those are the 2 new games we'll talk.
Yeah, it's Starseed and Block Dropping are the 2 new games.
Yeah, I wasn't impressed at all with that, to be honest with you. But I still like the collection as a whole. But I was expecting something bigger. To be honest with you, I guess I probably got my hopes up for no reason. But
Wait, what was that second game? Was that the John Hancock game?
Block Dropping? No, the John Hancock game is Block'em Sock'em, and that's already on the. It was in the front of the video, and then it's a match 3 game.
Was that a game of the month?
Not Block'em Sock'em was, yeah. It was the second game of the month, yeah.
And that looks like the Genesis version, which is not the version I played. I played the Atari and Intellivision versions.
Yeah, Block'em Sock'em. I don't remember which one that is, but yeah, there's 7800 version and a 2600 version, right, of that game.
Yeah,
that exists.
The funny thing is, like, if you play that in an Atari 2600 Plus, you get a special soundtrack you can't hear anywhere else.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it uses a Yamaha sound chip or something.
Yeah.
I still think the Jane Austen's probably the best game on that card.
Yeah,
it's awesome. It's really good.
Yeah.
You know, and it kind of came out of nowhere, because at first it's like, all right, somebody made a Jane Austen game. All right, that's funny. You know, like, you just hope that there'd be some kind of reference, but the entire game is like steeped in knowledge of all of those books, and you're like, all right, that's cool. It's like a nice little like indie game love letter to the books, and I'm like, all right, that's neat. It's clever. So I'm pretty excited about that, to go and finish it up.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, can I just say, because someone brought, like UFO 50, yes, dude, that would be great. That would be great to have. Like if they want to do something like off the wall, they need that. I was also going to say the Curse of Ilmor, but like for money wise, like this is a $15 game by itself, so value that kind of makes it worth it. James is fun. Cool to have finally John Hancock. I don't know that I really didn't. I wasn't a fan of. People like Flea too. Murtop is good. Yeah, mainly because like the graphic style and like the control, like the way it controls and the outline of the character. It's kind of like somebody's first time using Game Boy Studio. You know, I don't know.
Yeah.
Murtop is fantastic, and like I know a lot of people like Flea too. I think these games bad. I know that's really those are just kind of like fun to be thrown on there. But yeah, as you mentioned, like I don't know, these like Block Dropping and Starseed, I'm not surprised with all this.
So yeah, Joe's saying that those are Thalamus games.
Yes,
that were Game Boy Color games, which is actually pretty cool. You know, so you know you're getting you're getting extra titles from a developer that's already got a cart. So that's pretty neat. The thing with me though was, and it's just a nitpicky thing, it's just like a silly nitpicky thing. Is Indie Heroes is like a celebration of like all these different games for games of the month, right? And there's 9 of those, and then you get 2 more, and it's like, well, that's 11 months, which is cool, I guess, if you want to think about it that way. It's like, why isn't there 12? give me a dozen games on this cart. And then somebody actually commented yesterday and said, well, what if Indie Heroes, you put 3 and 4 in the BS and it unlocks, a game. It's like, okay, that could be your 12th game, but that's kind of fun.
It also could be a thing where the people letting these games be put on the cartridge didn't want it to be a free game of the month for whatever reason.
Right.
True.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, it wasn't the right spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
I still think it's a really solid cart, to be honest with you. So
yeah, I agree with that. Yeah,
I'm still looking forward to playing it like Murtop and Jane Austen, and kind of it's digging into them a little bit too, because I don't really necessarily have time to play them during the game of the month. So, or I forget to play them and they're gone.
Right. That happened to me. That happened to me on Nightmare, the Ninth King. I think I booted it up once, and then I was like, oh sweet, I got to go make that video, and then Jane Austen came out, and I forgot that I hadn't done the game of the month video about it, and then I lost it, and I was like, oh well, we're gonna have to play that later then. And I don't know if I actually played. I can't remember if I did the Block'em Sock'em, if I played it, because I have it on the VCS, the different version. So, but yeah, I'm looking forward to this particular.
Oh, you have a Block'em Sock. You have that on the Atari?
On the Atari VCS, yeah.
Oh, VCS. You don't have the actual cartridge. Okay.
No, yeah, they put it digitally out on the VCS. I want to say it's a 7800 version.
Okay. Yeah, there is a 7800 version too.
Yeah, so I grabbed that. I mean, I grabbed every game on the store. So
the reason is like when I was at the Pinball Expo, John Hancock was there, and he was selling all his games.
Oh, okay.
So I had bought like one of every single one that was for the 2600, and the one he had for the Intellivision.
Oh, that's cool.
But I didn't buy the 7800 one.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's pretty wild. But yeah, I mean, it's it's decent. I like Murtop. I think it was cool to go out with a bang, because Murtop's a fun game, and definitely gives me that Pixel Games vibe. I'm hoping that next year that we get Cash Cow. Like, speaking of these, like, single screen arcade game, kind of things. Cash Cow would be a really nice way to start out, like an Indie Heroes 5, to be honest. And we're getting close to the new one from Pixel Games. Looney Landers launches in 3 weeks now. So that's going to be a really cool game that I hope then winds up. It'll be on VCS on the 2nd of February. But yeah, I hope that we'll be able to get that on Evercade as well.
I think that they should have held back like Murtop. Like, these are two like the most unexciting titles probably on the cart. That was my big criticism. Like, they should have maybe had some other, held back for announcing it and make it more exciting to people.
Well, I mean, so for block dropping, I mean, if the mechanics of the game are fun, I don't care what it looks like. If it's a fun puzzle game and it kind of sucks you in, I'm in.
Yeah.
So like, that's pretty cool. But I mean, if you show me a top-down shooter and it's like, okay, here's another top-down shooter, I'm like, well, I'm terrible at these games. So
yeah, exactly.
The opportunity to get me personally excited for a top-down shooter.
Yeah, I'm kind of getting over all the shooters. I think we have enough shooters.
So,
I mean, on the Evercade right now, there's like they're all blending into one. There's probably about 50 top down and
shooters?
More than 50 top down and side scrolling cave shooters on the Evercade. There is so many of them.
Yeah, there's it's a lot of them.
And there's the tank shooters. Like, there's so many of them, right? Like, I'd rather have some more kind of side scrolling platform action games or top down action games or RPGs.
Yeah,
more of those. More indie games, actually. More of those style indie games.
Yeah.
Where the hell is Shovel Knight 1 and 2? Where's Rogue Legacy?
Somebody just said that. Ever Canadians.
Where's Steam Team Heist and all those games. Like, there's so many games that could easily run on the Evercade, I think.
Right? Yeah.
Yes.
Evercadians right here in the chat is like, how does it not have Shovel Knight? I mean, that's a legit question. Like
you can put Skyrim on this now. They put Skyrim on everything.
Yeah. That's
Like
what I'm
Doom.
saying. I think their focus is kind of like it's kind of interesting, and I think and that's why last year compared to the other years, it's just like, okay, well we're focusing on the alpha and this other stuff. Let's just go after all the easy licenses and throw that out there because we have to make money as a company. That's
I mean, but it's also like the time of when those things got made and all that kind of stuff, and when the deals got done, all that fun jazz.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we'll see.
Time to play with some quick poll, which is kind of funny. So I took a chance, right? Because I asked and said, "Would you like to?" So this poll is asking about polls. Would you like to see weekly polls come back and results discussed on Evercast? And 61 votes, overwhelmingly, 85% people said yes.
Oh, well, there you go.
Crapola! It didn't. StreamYard being
bring back the
StreamYard.
polls.
When you share an existing thing, it doesn't do the thing. There we go. Did it do it? Yes.
There you
Okay.
go.
Yeah. And then, of course, Gene says you love talking about your poll. Yeah.
There it is.
I'll bring that back. I think I just needed a break because after a while, you run out of ideas, right? I'm like, what about this and that? So yeah, I'll bring that back.
Tired playing with your poll.
Yeah, so let's bring it back. Yeah, this would be fun.
Yeah. Oh my god. So yeah, there's not really much on the poll section. Now
I think the first poll should be, what genre of game are you most looking forward to on Evercade? That should be the first poll.
What genre?
Yeah. And then just list a whole bunch of them and see what happens.
No matter what you list, you're gonna forget one.
Absolutely. But that's the fun.
Yeah.
And then people can just say, you can say I have an other, put it in the comments.
So let's and then let's talk about like cart chat. Like I know like what we left, with reviewing the carts, we left off like Team 17. I guess up next was like Delphine, Sydney Hunter, or like Pico Arcade 1.
Yep.
So we did Team 17?
We did. We finished Team 17.
That was the last one we did.
Was the last one we did. It was back in the end of July, early August.
Did we do Pico Interactive 3?
We did.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that I have all of the carts here in release order, because then the next two I'm showing that were released were Sydney Hunter and Pico Arcade 1.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, I did the same research when I was when I did the outline in our chat, because I had no idea. It's been so long since we sat down and talked about games. So I was like, all right, cool. Where are we? And so if I separated it by blue, red, purple. So
I have them all in the same list. It didn't matter.
Got it.
The reason I did that is because I need to know like what cart I need to play after I finish the last one.
Yep. So if we want to do like a internal poll right now, so if it's in release order, it's Sydney Hunter and Pico. Which one do we want to do first?
Do what everyone say.
It doesn't matter. They're both pretty bad.
Oh no!
I really like Sydney Hunter.
I mean, well, Sydney Hunter has what, 4 games on it? You could do that in one show.
You could probably do that next. Yeah, we probably
not if you do one game per show.
Well, yeah, that's a lot talking about a game though.
Yeah,
that's
right.
I could do that.
Yes. What do you think, Pete?
That's up to you guys. It doesn't bother me. Okay. I'm good.
You ever do the spin the wheel, make a random wheel, and then spin it, and then there's a website, wheel something or other.
Oh yeah. Like Wheel of Choice or something like that.
Wheel of Names. Yes, yeah. Wheelofnames.com.
Wheel of Names.
Wheel of Names.
So if you wanted, see here. We got.
You want to plug that in real quick, Crow, since you're there?
What were the choices here? Pico, Arcade, 1, and what was the other
Sydney
one?
Hunter.
Sydney Hunter.
And then Dolphine Collection 1, right?
Okay,
No.
we could throw that. Well, if you just want to stick with the next two,
Maybe we
that
stick
were
with just
released,
these
or-
two.
Yeah, stick with the next two in line, I guess. Yeah.
Okay, how do I hit present? Is that it?
No, what's up?
Yes. Yeah.
And I want to share screen,
Yep.
and I want to Opera tab. Wow, I've got too many Opera tabs open. Here we go.
Opera!
Okay, there we go.
There it is.
So
All right.
we're gonna click the spin, and whatever it lands on, that's what we're gonna do.
Oh.
It looks like it's gonna be Sydney Hunter.
Sydney Hunter.
I was ready.
I love that.
I love it.
Ah! Cool.
All right, so we have the we have the assignment.
Yep. For next week. And actually, we'll start. You know, I love this. We'll start doing that, like on the shows. Like when we get through the cart, we'll spin the wheel live. We'll do the selections.
Yeah,
I love
Hey,
that.
You could do
love
that
that.
with each individual game on the cart too, if you wanted.
Yeah, which order we're gonna talk about the cart? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's kind of fun.
You
Yeah.
want to set that if Carl, if you want to be the official like wheel spinning guy, we could set that up. We can do that
All right.
next time for order.
So Sydney Hunter sitting on top of the VS.
Yeah.
Yeah, this has 4 games in it.
The homework assignment is in.
One
And
of
that
them
way,
is in-
depending on how
is
much
Sydney Hunter.
news we get to next week, you know, in case if they drop another cart, even next week, if this gets overshadowed, then we can still, you know, we can
Oh,
still talk.
I still think we should be able to get some stuff in there.
Lots of interesting cup of coffee. Oh, I do have one. Oh, Toplin 4 is very good. So I do have one beef with a Toplin 4, and I want your guys' opinion to see if this is something Blaze should fix. Right. So Snow Bros 2, it's a bug where there's a limit of how many coins you can put in, and I tested this out by firing CoinOps X up on the Steam Deck, and on that arcade ROM, it still did the same thing. Like after, like you have like 9 max credits, you know, but like after you use them, I don't know. I should do a credit count, but you can't insert coins anymore. That was on the original ROM. Like, do you think that's something that Blaze should fix? Because
Is that an error where if you put in the max amount of coins, you can't enter it anymore, or do you just pay attention not to put in the max number of coins?
I haven't played it yet, so I don't know.
That's a good question, Crow. I wonder if that's.
Yeah, I
That
don't know.
might be-
I haven't touched it either, but so I'm not aware of that.
I'll have to. You know what? That might be the bug because I always put in max credit. So I wonder if you just pay attention and not like have it hit 9.
Just put
That
in
would be-
1 credit at a time.
Yeah, because you have a continue countdown, probably, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
It's probably.
You know what? I bet that's what it is because I was like, is that? Then I'm not as much upset because I'm like, you know, you kind of get into a game and you want to play it, and then the cart dies, and then you get it back and you make progress again. And I'm like, I can't put more continues, and I'm, you know, I guess the other solution.
Again,
is
I don't know. That may not be the issue. Maybe it does limit you to 9 credits total. I mean, there are certain games where they pull stuff like that, especially like if you get like to the last level, it won't let you continue.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have it right here. I just need to play it. It's right here.
It's awesome, and if you put in Toplin 3 and 4, you get the OG NES version of Snow Bros, which is fun too.
That's cool.
Like, actually, I really like that version for some reason. I don't know why.
A lot of the NES games just played really good. They're at tight controls. I found
Yeah.
for the D-pad.
But yeah, Grindstormer really makes that game, like that collection, worth it for Toplin 4. Like
Which one?
Grindstormer, it's a shoot 'em up, but it's the shoot 'em up that like when you die, you start back like a little bit. So like you have to be bosses without dying and all. Which I kind of like that because sometimes it gives you a challenge, but then sometimes you get like frustrated, or I get frustrated.
I gotta
And
look
like,
that up,
play
'cause I
something
think-
else. and die.
It's on my agenda for this weekend.
Grindstormer.
And like so, I forget who kind of brought up like the dual carts, right? Like for me this year, like I don't know, Gene, if it's in the chat, but I think I have to agree with it because he was saying that like Metal Dragon was kind of like a knockoff or like a cheap version of like Commando and those other shooters. And I was like, no, dude, it's fun. But then like the Capcom collection, I played like what was it like Commando and like the other version of it, and I'm like, okay, I kind of see what he means. Like I hate to admit that, but for me personally, because I just haven't been into playing Metroidvanias, like Life on Mars is a good game. But I thought for me, like this dual cart collection was a little bit weaker this year. So I don't know. I don't know if you guys had a chance to play it much. But.
I haven't tried it yet, so I'm looking forward to it, to be honest with you, though. Looking forward to that collection. So, but first is Tailplan 4. That's the main one.
Yeah. The Toplins are
nice.
Are really good. Knuckle Bash. That was a wrestling game. Knuckle Bash is a lot of fun. What's interesting about that game, it's the only brawler or beat 'em up where you can unlock more characters and you can choose to start like at the halfway point of the game. But yeah, that's
kind of cool.
Yeah, very interesting and different. Oh, here's a random thought. If you guys do stream Mappy, I'm not surprised, but like the music on that's like copyrighted.
Oh, really?
Yes.
By Namco?
Well, I don't know if it's by
copyright.
Well, so because like I got when I was because I streamed that last night and I got a couple of copyright claims. I don't know. It's in Japanese. I don't know. But I'm like, fine.
You're talking about Mappy and not Mappy Land.
Correct. OG Mappy.
Oh.
Yeah. Because I got it. Yeah, I got a copyright, and I'm like, what?
Well, that's interesting because I have just video game footage on my other channel. I don't remember seeing it. I'm just gonna check to see if there's a copyright.
Yeah. Because I played it for a little bit, but it was just weird. Only that game on the Namco collection that it picked it. I like picked it up 4 times. Like, and I guess when I died and came back, so I was like, that's a weird. That's a weird thing. Oh, the beautiful box art.
Yeah, it has a copyright, but only for a certain segment.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah. So I don't know. It's very it's very strange.
Let's see what this copyright is after translate it. Namco Orchestra. That's who's copyrighted.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Ooh, look at that.
Yeah. I'm very excited.
I'm so Mike bet that they had like an album or something that had their music on it.
Yeah, that's probably what it is.
Yeah. Oh, I guess a story to tell you. I was game hunting with my cousin 2 weeks ago, and how certain vaulted games have gone up in price. So I went to the store, and it felt like it was struggling to sell stuff. And he had the is it Technos collections that's gone up in price?
Yeah,
collection 1. Yeah.
So he had the full Technos collections, both new and used, that he store, and he was selling them for what the MSRP was for both of them. So like brand new, it was like and his used one was only $15, and you could tell he's still struggling because he didn't have his heat on in the store, and it was like. I went over and told him, I could have been an asshole and just went and bought these and resold them. And I said, hey, guy, I'm going to give you a hint now. And I gave him a complete list of all the vaulted collections of Evercade. And I said, man, you can make some money on that, because the store looked like nobody was going in there. And you can tell the guy was fed up and frustrated, but still a good person. So I told him, I said, guy, if you feel like it, you can sell these probably for double what they are.
Yeah.
He was so grateful.
That's awesome.
I don't want to contribute to like price gouging, but I wanted to help. I wanted the store to stay afloat. So
yeah, I mean, if they don't know, you don't want them to get.
He's like he's got a business there, and it's like we bought a few games from him, like other games from him, and these prices were so reasonable, dude. Like, like so reasonable, like below price charting in eBay. Like it was just like all of his prices really good. My cousin bought like a boatload of stuff there, but like you can tell he's in it for it. But yeah, it was just But I don't know if he was going to take my advice. It felt like he was like, I don't know about that. What do you know about Evercade? And I'm like, well, a little bit.
Just a tad.
just a tad. But anyway, interesting story. But it was like seeing Evercade out in the wild everywhere now, and almost every game store up here.
Really, I've never seen it anywhere.
Huh.
Okay,
Retro-
the question is, do you go to game stores?
Right.
What, like,
Answer truthfully.
Okay, game stores like what? Like
Used game stores.
You know what? Now that you mention it, I think like Play and Trade may have had it, or
Yeah, I'm sure Play and Trade. They're
only
pretty
because somebody I talked to mentioned it and didn't know what it was.
Got it.
Yeah, yeah. But anyway, yeah, I don't think you don't take me as someone who just goes to game stores. Like I go every couple of weeks. I just go in because I got a lot of friends who run stores up here, so I just want to talk to them and just chill out. And it's good to see how they're doing and stuff. Yeah, but anyway, interesting.
When I'm looking at it, only looks like Techno's Collection 1 is still the only one that sells for way more than
Spin 88.
It is.
What city are you in? I'm in Canada.
Oliver Twins Collection is another one, but okay, maybe Pico Interactive Collection 1, Namco Museum 2, Codemasters. I guess there's a little bit more than I thought.
Where you're looking it up, price charting?
I just look, price charting really quick.
Yeah, I think they're still holding the price, right? I don't know.
For people who got to catch them all.
Yeah, Pokemon.
Just to get a rough estimate. No, it's.
I only ever try to catch Pikachu. It's the only Pokemon that I have like any interest in ever had interest in was Pikachu.
Wow.
What else are we talking about today? Seems like there's some like quiet thing.
I just started diving into the whole, like, I was just like, oh, what's a loose cart?
I don't know.
For these
Bring
things.
it up on the screen so our people can. It's always good probably to check in on the secondhand market because a lot of our fans probably do buy secondhand. I know, like, I hate anything in plastic. Like me and Ed was talking about that. Was it on your show? I dropped in about you got to open everything, right? Everything. I went in and video bombed or stream bombed their cart show the other day.
That was fun.
That's got to be a typo, right?
I finally have time in the evenings a little bit more now when the kids are settled and stuff.
I mean, if you click on it, it's probably like attributing something.
Oh, there you go.
Exactly
Yeah.
Price Charting has Funko Pop stuff up there now too. Price Charting is a great site, man. I wish they'd kind of make an app because if they had an app, it would be great.
Actually, Funko has an app that's pretty good at aggregating.
Yeah, I have mine in there too, but I haven't bought a new Funko Crow in 3 years, maybe 2 years.
I guess it's come down, actually.
Oh yeah, I can see that, right?
God.
Actually, funny thing is, like, my sister forgot to give me her Christmas present when I was over there for Christmas, and she gave it to me, and then she's like, "Oh, I hope you don't have this already." And what it was like a Simpsons thing of the Weird Al.
Oh,
And
that's
the funny thing is, not only did I already have this, I lied and said I didn't.
Loose cart is priced good too. Holy crap! Like there's loose carts. Like
not only did I already have this, but she was the one that gave it to me in the past too.
yeah, like loose carts. I guess that means that people really aren't collecting, like aren't buying these for collections. They're buying them for the play because if loose cart prices are fairly strong, I would expect them to be sub $10.
Yeah.
See, that's pretty cool, man. Like, it should make people like us who do buy I know, Ed, you're not a collector, but like, and I wouldn't categorize myself as a core collector anymore. I got most of the collecting I want, but like Rich and I guess Crow a little bit. Like this could make us feel good. It's like, it's holding value anyway for whatever.
Yeah, I mean, the least expensive cart is Link's Collection 1.
Which is one of the better game carts. Like,
Right.
It's good, right? Like, did it get more production on that? Probably. There's more of them out there.
Maybe.
I really enjoyed a Slime World game. Like, I put more hours in that than I should have, I think.
Yeah, it's a fun game.
Because I own a boxed Atari Lynx. I own actually 2 boxed Atari. No, 1 boxed and 1 of the 2 different generations. I should get rid of one of those. I don't really need a box one. I just need the console.
Some of the Life on Mars sealed 84. Like some of these prices are stupid though. I think if there's no, like as far as like the carts go, like that I'd consider myself a collector. Not necessarily like not all the variations, but
Yeah. I'm
Well,
more
what I
of a,
usually do, if the price doesn't make sense, I'll click on it and see
Yeah.
what it'll actually take you to the links where it's.
yeah, which that's why I love price chart. It takes you to latest sales and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
But-
I'm collecting series of games more than anything. Like I like you guys know I like the E series, and I just put a video up for my members on the channel talking about some of the E's games I picked up. But you know what game I played? Tales of Arise, and I've started going back and playing the Game Boy version of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's the series, I didn't know it was a series, but there's so many good games out. IREM collection, I really like that one too.
Yeah.
we need a second one.
Yeah. Intelligent collections, yeah, I could see that. That's like it was a niche anyway. Like I mean, I really like that.
But here's the thing, though.
Who's
With
in-
the exception of Legacy, you can buy all these cards still. So why are they? You know what I mean? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, but like, do Video Game Plus have them or Songbird? Like, because I wouldn't recommend anybody buy from Funstock. Sorry, Rich. I know you like your doodads they give you, but they screwed me. Like, they continually screw Canadians with duty import fees, man. That's like
not cool. Yeah, I mean, if they could fix that kind of issue,
they can't fix it. It's government, right?
it's
Like,
law.
Yeah.
What I don't like is that their exclusiveness over stuff. Like, this cool T-shirt. Like, I picked that up.
Yeah.
But like, why don't you give some love to Video Games Plus and Songbird and Amazon? Like,
Yes.
That would be kind of cool because to help people out. So yeah, I mean, I agree with you there.
Yeah.
Because it wouldn't be so bad if like I do Funstock because that's where all the exclusive stuff is. So I'm locked in, right?
Yeah, but you're okay. Like, we don't criticize you for that. I just I think you like all the doodads. I kind of
But-
did
yes.
too. I'm just running
You're,
around.
you're
Oh.
right though. A little
But
bit
it
of help
does
to help
suck, right?
people get like less tax and less shipping and
But
all
we
that.
don't get the cool stuff without absorbing that potential of a duty or a tax or a shipping or stuff like
Right.
that, right?
Yeah. Well, for
not-
me, it's not as bad, I guess. Because the tax on the shipping and the exchange rate for the pound to here, like it's like you pay an extra maybe $7 over what I could get from like a Video Games Club Plus or something like that. And I mean, when it's $7, I'm like, whatever. I'm just
It
gonna
adds
pay it.
up, though.
Oh, of course it does. Yeah.
That's
I add all those. I mean, if I go through my list, I mean, I don't know. I probably have like 40 purchases off of Funstock or some
Yeah.
nonsense,
Yeah.
know. So yeah, I mean, it's 7 times 40. That's a lot of money, when you.
But
Add
when you guys said that like Blaze is Funstock, that makes sense because if you buy from them, they're making more money, which
Mm.
they kind of which is why they kind of like treat their resellers like they give themselves priority stock, right? Like there were a few times where like in Canada, they didn't carts were delayed, for like getting carts out there were delayed. They're
Yeah.
giving Video Games Plus more stock, but I kind of feel like everyone else is like the bastard stepchild when it
So
comes.
that's an interesting comment, right? But I think it doesn't really matter because the big channels get it month early anyway. That
Right.
really matters to their content. Like,
Yeah. And then for us, it doesn't. It only matters.
I'm
me.
like a month and a half behind now, right? Like,
Yeah,
I
it
don't
doesn't matter to me.
doesn't matter to me. I just want to play the games. I don't.
You'll never be as far behind as me.
Yeah, the content for me, I'm getting close, but the content for me is just love of the content. I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does nothing on my YouTube channel. Like Steam content, Switch content, PlayStation content. That's what does stuff on my channel. Evercade doesn't really drive anything on my channel. It's just because I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still fun, but I mean, still though, with Video Games Plus, you get it on the day. Now, the other thing too, which I don't like again about Funstock, I want to like with Video Games Plus, unless there's a holiday, they will always respond back to you next business day, and they don't know that on the Evercade effect. Like their customer service is excellent.
I don't know how they do it. Like, how many people works in that little store?
Right.
And it's not AI. They should start using AI.
Yeah. I mean, logistics and that kind of stuff is key. When you're in the
Never get a
small business
damaged
area.
product from them. Always top notch customer service.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty damn good.
Like unless the only time there was a delay, of course, if like if their warehouse is like they don't have control over that. But like when I Toblin 4 and I think I emailed them on a Saturday, made the video, they got back to me on that Monday, and then later that week I had the replacement.
So what was wrong with your tow plan? Because I'm worried now about mine.
Like it just stopped being detected. Now, here's the one thing I'm paranoid about. I forget it might have been Immortal or somebody brought it up that it was working, And then it could be a coincidence when I put in Toplin 3 and 4 to unlock Snow Bros. Like that was that happened to be like the last thing that I did with it, and then the next time it didn't. So I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but I'm kind of paranoid now to put both of those.
Yeah, they need to up their quality control a little bit. Like,
yes,
so start, like they've always had problem with cart quality of control. So I'd like to know what their percentage of bad carts are.
Yeah, it's higher than 1%, but it's not like 50%. Thing outrageous.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
That's the other thing too. The buying, like that's the other thing. I kind of hate to say this, unless you're buying it from a local store that you have a good relationship with. I don't know if I can recommend buying Evercade carts in the secondhand market because you don't know, is it going to work? How much has it been tested?
So that's when the person who sells it should actually say tested and show a screen, and that, like, I would do that, like at the minimum. For myself, if I was selling it on eBay,
yes,
Facebook Marketplace, I would do that. Or list it as, if you're like don't want to, is completely untested, right?
Huh.
Yeah.
Yes.
I wonder if I could get cheap carts if they don't work. Because
I'm sure you can go on eBay and say broken Evercade carts and get a bunch of them.
Because I could fix them and resell them.
Dude, that'd be a great video. That would be. I'd love to see that. Then I'd be trying to flash them.
Oh, if they did that, like launch a US or Canadian fun stock. I mean, that would be kind of cool.
Either that or just like buy
go use DHL as your shipping partner.
Yeah, right.
Buy a bunch of broken Evercade, like OG Evercades with like the working cart slot, like sell those.
Yeah. So
I don't.
I've got an interesting question for everybody.
Yes.
With all the other announcements that came out of CES, would you want the team at Evercade to make available drivers for this thing?
Oh yeah.
Well, if it's got a USB, it's a good chance that it probably would already work.
I mean, but even with the spinner and all that?
Possibly, but what they would need to do is allow you to be able to use it, because the Atari VCS Classic joystick already has a spinner built into it.
Mm-hmm.
And if you plug it into Windows, you could see how it's operating. I think it uses like the Z trigger or whatever to utilize that. All they would need to do is for those games that would use the dial or the paddle controller, is allow it to connect to that to be able to use it.
Mm.
That's a better spot for it.
Yeah, I mean the joystick part would work.
Ooh,
but
it's not.
Like the trackball and the dial. That's interesting. Did they have a price point for that?
$69.99, I think.
Really, that doesn't seem bad. It seems
no.
Fit. I mean, the base of it seems really thin, so it doesn't seem like you'd be able to modify it that much.
Mm-hmm.
Like you wouldn't be able to put in your own switches or joystick or anything.
Yeah. But I would rock one of these if it was able to work on if we were able to get all of the things. Get the little trackball, get the number pad, get this, get that all to work. I'm in on an Evercade VS. Heck yeah, man.
Well, instead of an all-in-one device, why not just have one that is just the dial with like a button or two?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I'd rather have that, to be honest, like just the trackball and the dial.
Yeah, I mean that'd be more convenient for a lot of people, but I was actually considering building my own that would just be like a trackball or just like an arcade stick, but just have a dial on it, or just a trackball, and just swapping it out for whatever game I needed it for. I just never had the time to do it.
Yeah.
But then I think the other problem, and I know you brought this up too, Crows, that if they did add the support, they'd have to go back and either modify the ROMs or like modify the firmware to allow the trackballs to work with those games, right?
It would just be a cartridge update, I would think.
Yeah. But they would just have to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that was pretty neat. As far as the other announcements that came out of the My Arcade side of things for CES, this is probably the most interesting to me.
Yes.
Yeah, I haven't seen a lot of stuff going through. I've seen some stuff, but not a lot. Yeah, that seems pretty cool.
Mine is the handheld, and then watching follow-up videos of them actually playing and using that handheld, and how depending on what game you load into, it'll illuminate the controls you're supposed to use.
Oh,
It's
that's
just,
cool.
just really cool. It's like if you're playing like a game for the trackball, it'll highlight the ring, the RGB around it will highlight as the control and stuff like that.
Oh, that's
But
neat.
the whole system really excites me. Like I cannot wait to play that.
That's very cool. And you're looking forward to the Game Station Go, right? That's what you're
Yeah,
looking
that's
for?
it. Yeah, the one with all the controls on it. I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah.
I just
Actually,
hope they
now
put
that
a
I'm
really
seeing
good curated list of games on there myself. But I'm sure they'll have the option for you to load your own ROMs. They normally do.
Yeah.
Now that I'm seeing this, I think I'd rather have that than the Game Station.
Oh, just the controller.
Yeah,
But
because
look at the spinner for that spinner.
Yeah, there's no spinner.
I didn't realize
No,
that.
that one's got the
there
spin.
it is.
That one, not this one, but the other one. That's
Yeah,
got
the other
yeah,
one I was going to say.
This one?
That's better
Yeah.
because the first
Trackball,
one,
yeah, I need a trackball on there.
Yeah. This is the one I would want. Yep.
Yeah, I would not want the other one. Seems why?
Yeah. But hey, anyone at Blaze in the tech department,
Well, that one might be. The other one might be.
get
cheaper
one of
than that.
these. Get one of these and get some drivers for this thing and make it all work. And then just be like, hey, we don't have to make a controller on our own. This literally does everything. And then we just
Like
buy
the
this
thing
one.
is, though, they never did have to do that. Like I have an adapter that lets me plug in like anything 9 pins into a USB port. All they really needed to do was allow me to use that. You know.
Oh, yeah.
one's designed for Atari, one's designed for Capcom. Okay.
Yeah. So, but that's pretty cool. Yeah. So yeah.
And their excuse was
Great.
why they never had paddle support was like, oh, it's too hard to get paddles over there, which I don't buy.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Yeah.
That just Blaze's excuse.
Especially now since Atari's selling new paddles, you know.
Right. Yeah, you can just buy paddles.
Yeah.
I did. I have a
Yeah.
set of new paddles sitting right next to me, 2600 plus.
Even if you weren't even interested in the 2600 plus, if you wanted paddles that work perfectly and no jitter, you get that. What's funny is I don't think you can buy them without the cartridge. You have to buy the cartridge too, don't you?
I think you can get the paddle. You can buy 2 paddles. I think you can get them now. That used to be the case.
Let me double check because actually you might be right, Crow.
Yeah.
Last time I looked, you had to get that 4-in-1 cart with
Oh,
the paddles.
Immortal gifted a
Nice.
membership. Thanks, dude. Really appreciate that.
That's
Helps
really cool, man.
other people see my weirdnesses and different things. Immortal.
Oh, the Onyx is back in stock. I didn't realize that. All right.
The what?
The Onyx VCS All-In bundle. They more has appeared after their big blowout sale where they sold out.
It always magically happens that way, right?
Ballistic got it. No, I will say like Ballistic. Like yeah, he always gets one. He's never had to buy one.
It doesn't look like it.
No, they do. They have paddles. They do for $24.99 a set of paddles. CX.
Oh, there he
plus
goes.
Paddles.
Yep.
But they're sold out.
They're sold out.
Of course. Of course.
But I mean,
Cool.
yeah.
Oh,
not everyone's
and
gonna
how
want the
convenient!
game, but
The paddle that has the game isn't sold out.
yeah, you can spend $39.99 and get whatever the 6
But
games.
that's quite a big price difference. That's $15.
Yeah.
Is that cart worth $15? I don't think it is.
I don't know. I bought
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Not especially if you have those games, let alone that exact same cart.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh, Corny Puddle got it.
That's wild that the DB9 extension cables are sold out too. That's crazy.
What's funny is I bought one of those and I've never used it.
That's pretty crazy. I wonder if you could go to 7800 plus. Do they have? No, there's nothing else. There's nothing. It's all 7800 stuff. Oh wow, you can get like a discount if you buy all of the cartridges.
Yes, I
You
saw
get
that.
25% off if you buy them all. That's pretty cool.
But the 7800 plus Game On Mega Bundle, is that what you're looking at? Or
Well, yeah, 7800.
okay, there's a few of them, yeah.
Yeah, 7800 collect them all bundle.
You know what's funny is they didn't put that up until after I bought all of them separately.
Oh, really?
Oh, that's bogus. That's bogus. I mean, it's neat though. It's cool to have like brand new Atari games. You could just go and buy them. That's neat. I like it.
Yeah, well, the thing was too was I was only going to buy 4 of them, and then like a month later I changed my mind and bought the rest of them.
Yeah.
It's
And then
something we'll have
sometime
to look
after
at.
that they put out the mega bundles.
I never heard of the FU cab from Thundersticks. You could put a full size VS in an arcade machine.
I've been
Interesting.
hearing something about that.
Yeah, no, I didn't, Mike. I have to look into that. Oh,
Pre-built
it
for
comes
a
pre-built for a
5.5.
5.5. Yeah.
Kind of cool. But anyway, it seems
Yeah,
like
what-
it's a natural. Seems like a natural stopping point.
Yeah. So yeah, next week we'll talk about the Sydney Hunter collection and all that.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta get it out and start playing again though. Even
Yeah.
though I played a bunch of them, like
Yeah.
I played
Yeah,
so much of them.
I like that we're getting
Before
back.
they came to the Evercade because I have the collection on my Phoenix, Coleco Phoenix that the same company built, which is cool. That's cool. I love that we're getting back into collections.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
man. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
And Crow can talk about it because he's already done his review on the Sydney
Right.
collection.
Yes.
Well, yeah, I'm good up until what?
2022.
No, like yeah, well, up until 2022, and then a little bit into 2020. Well, a little bit into 2024, because I'm still on Sunsoft Collection 2, but I've played all the games on it. I just have not made a video. I still haven't finished Blaster Master Junior or whatever that game was. But I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon either.
Cool.
So what do you all like? I guess what do you all got? Anything you guys want to plug? What do you all have going on your channels next week and all that kind of stuff?
I don't know. But Evercade. I'm going to be doing the Technos, the Turtle Plant collection wherever it's at. I'm going to be doing that this week, and I don't know. I just kind of play it by ear. If a game comes out I want to play, I'll play it and do a video if I want. But yeah, that's basically it.
Very cool.
Nice.
Yeah, on my side of things, a little light on the VCS side of things in the store, which is great because it allows me to do some catch up. So I'll be doing some catch up on VCS Fun for Fives. I will be doing some homework on the Sydney Hunter collection. So I'll probably wind up doing some games there, maybe some gameplay videos and that kind of stuff. I got the itch on Calling All Retro Gamers for Lunar, the Silver Star. I do not know if I'm going to make it 2 weeks before I play that game again. So stay tuned for that because I might just have to play some more of that because it's so fun. And I just did a gigantic box opening yesterday from the Facebook auction place that I go and frequent every Thursday. What I do is I win all these auctions and then I wait for a year, until the end of the year, and then I have them send me whatever I won. So that was a fun box opening. And it also just so happened to hold things in it that I forgot that I purchased. So a whole bunch of stuff in there might be, time to try to see if we can get it to work again. Cause I bought things in shaky condition. And I got to get some of that stuff to work. Those things include a Game Gear, which was, it may work, it may not work.
Probably won't work. It's a Game Gear.
Yeah, it's what the listing was. So we'll try to see if we can get that working. And then the other one, which was my pièce de résistance out of the box, I knew what was in there, was a TurboGrafx 16. One console I've never owned. So it was also in really rough shape, but it was guaranteed to work. So we're gonna see if it was a true statement. I gotta go find a game though now. I have to go find a TurboGrafx 16 game to make it work. But that's what our friends over at Retro Classics in Somerville are for. So yeah, keep tuned because we're gonna be playing all sorts of fun stuff, in the live streams and all that. So
Cool. And I should be streaming into the late hours of the night.
yeah, man. Do it.
Again.
Also, I want to address Immortal Sojourn, who asked if I canceled memberships on my channel, and I did, literally about an hour ago.
Oh, did
Oh
you?
wow.
Oh,
Aw.
Well, I figured it was about a year. That I was experiment for about a year. I wouldn't have done it except that I'm probably going on a little bit of a hiatus until I can get things straightened out here. I've got a giant mess behind me, and that's part of the reason why I haven't been able to continue on with Sunsoft Collection 2 for quite some time. You don't even know how big of a mess I have behind me that I need to get organized.
Oh wow.
I've also sold 4 pinball machines.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
I actually sold the last 2 that I was trying to sell got taken out earlier this week. So right now I still have the At Games Legends 4K, and I have the Stern Star Trek. Those aren't going anywhere. I did sell the Time Machine. I sold the Hyperball. I sold the original At Games Legends pinball and the Mr. and Mrs. Pac-Man machine. So I have a lot more room down here, but I also went and dug out all this other stuff that was just buried for a long time. I need to get it all organized, and I'm trying to. I've been selling stuff on Facebook Marketplace, and I like that more than eBay because people come to your house and they give you money and leave,
I hope.
and you get to keep it all.
Nothing wrong with
Yeah,
that.
you don't have to worry about being
Mhm.
refunded. I don't know if I want people to come to my house. Like, do you have them actually come to your house, or do you meet them
Yeah,
somewhere?
well, I can't. I'm not going to meet them somewhere with a pinball machine.
Oh, well, yeah, that's true. I guess that case,
Like-
yeah.
I could with this other stuff, but I'm not worried. I'm here all the time. I'm not
Yeah.
worried somebody's going to break in. You know.
And
Yeah,
you got
well,
time.
if it's money, it's worth it. Yeah, if that kind of money, it's worth it. Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
But yeah, I just need to get organized. There's a lot of stuff I need to go through. That was one of the reasons why I couldn't see having my memberships going on if I wasn't going to be putting out a video in a month or so. I don't know.
Yeah.
So,
Pretty cool. Well, yeah. Well, you'll be here anyway.
well, this is all something
Ooh.
that just stemmed from an idea I had. So I'm hoping that all comes to fruition in the end. But I'm not going to tell anybody what it is that I have.
I like that little
as an
box
angle.
Vita or PSP behind you.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what that is? That's just a box because I don't have the.
Oh,
Like, what's funny is I have these. I don't have the systems to go with this.
Oh, I might be interested in some of those boxes for my
Yeah,
cousin.
this has got everything in it except for a PSP.
Oh, Crow, don't. I might be interested in those.
Look at that. How about a
Because my
green
cousin-
one?
My cousin wants
Two
boxes.
green ones.
there you go.
Yeah,
If you
I
don't
might
buy
be
them,
interested in those, Crow. You can flatten them down. and
Well, this
I
I
think
actually have the Vita that goes with this.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Oh, I probably should mention I am selling most of this stuff. Like, I'm only gonna keep Atari 2600, Commodore, and Atari computer stuff, and everything.
Which that's what you love anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm selling the Switch. I don't need that anymore.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
decluttering.
Yeah, I don't like.
Well,
dude, I don't
that's what I've been doing. I've been getting rid of games I have no interest in playing and curating my collection to the point where, I want to be. You only got so much life left, right? I want to play what I have, and that's why I'm going back and doing deep cuts of games and playing a bunch of old stuff, and it's pretty cool.
Very cool.
Yeah, but I do have an end goal in mind, and which is my motivation for doing all this stuff. But I'm not going to tell anybody what that is.
Yeah. Is it
Tell-
your Funko Pops?
Actually, I'm not even considering selling these yet.
I know you love them
but
so much.
I
Are we gonna
have
put
gone
them-
through. I did sell a lot. I sold like 400 of them at one point.
Oh wow.
Yeah, you got more than I do, right? I think.
I don't know. I'd have to look at the app to tell you how many I have.
That's awesome.
So let me answer this real quick. So at the beginning of last night's stream, like I did like a special like music video of like Grindstormer, and it's funny because I said like if you're not watching, and so I went back to go ahead and remove that, and then I got those other like stupid copyright claims from Namco, and so then I chose to mute it, and then so instead of getting a copyright for the music, then they just said another copyright, not a strike, by the way, just a claim. Then they said for the content itself, so I had to go back to delete that. Then once that's done, then I'll go ahead and I'll put it up. Because
That's weird.
not that those videos make much money, but it irritates me if companies try to do that. I'm like, really?
Mm.
But yeah, I'll be on there, and I think I will release that like next. I think I'll release that like next week, maybe to channel members first. But yeah, I'm glad you noticed, because I wonder like, does anybody even go back and watch those streams? Are they?
Evercade is how much did I get for the HD at Games pinball? I sold that for 600, but I sold that along with the Mr. and Mrs. Pac-Man together, and both of those together I sold for like 1400.
Nice.
Oh wow. So are you after you do reorganize? Are you going to make a video revealing your master plan, or you said it was?
Oh
for a
yeah,
specific-
yeah. But I don't know how long it's going to take. It may take me quite some time.
Yeah, because you get distracted so much with your 3D printing. You get distracted by
Yeah,
like a
I
squirrel.
don't know if you knew this, but I have a new 3D printer.
Well, Crow, I want to talk to you about it offline because I'm thinking about getting the Bamboo A1 because I want to start.
Oh yeah, that's right. We did talk about that.
Yeah.
That's
Cool.
a good
Well, I
one
guess
to
we
start
should
out
end.
with.
We should end this.
Yeah. So no, this is a great stream. Yeah, we're gonna zoom back to this format. Think everyone liked it, had fun.
Oh yeah, it is the blast. I like doing the games. I miss it because it forces us all to go back and put the cart in and play the games.
Yep.
Because sometimes you just forget about your backlog, right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
forget about
rewatch
mine.
my
They're right
video.
there. They're all there.
Alrighty, everybody. Well, thank you so much. We'll go ahead and end it, and until next time.
Later, Gators.
Thanks, Crash Line, Mr. Shua, Immortal Sojourn, Sucker MC, Ember Cummings, Joe Whitlash.